This is the Ant Taylor Show, and we are in the house with my boy. And you know what? I want y'all to put your hands together because I got some claps too. Some people got claps. I got claps too. Ladies and gentlemen, Ceddy J. Ceddy J is in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Love screaming, man.
What's up, Ceddy? How you doing, my man?
Man, I'm good, man. I can't complain. You know, definitely a blessing, man, to be able to do this show with you and whatnot. And I appreciate the invite.
No problem, man. I got this music going in the background. Don't get it mixed up, guys. This is Ceddy, not Teddy Pendergrass. All right? So we got Ceddy J in the house. You know what I'm saying? What more time with my round of applause button? You know what I'm saying? You know when they give you something free, you just got to keep using it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I be abusing these things. I'm like, air horns, everything. Like, let me just go crazy.
Exactly. All right, y'all. So, Ceddy J, can you tell the people out there a little bit about you, little historical facts about your shows and what's going on currently?
Where the hell does the name Ceddy J, or even more so, where the hell does Ceddy J Dusk come from? Well, it's a story within a story within a story. So when I was back when I was 15, age of 15. I did my very first job, if you don't count doing janitor work, was at Build-A-Bear Workshop. I used to work at Build-A-Bear. You know, I'm excited. You know, I was shy at the time. Believe it or not, I was a little shyer than I am now, which I know I talk my ass off now. And there, you know, people were like, look, I'm this tall, because I'm 6'4" for the people who can't see me on the show. I'm 6'4", and now, but I was tall with wherever high I was in. So I walk into there. I'm this big, tall giant who's working at Build-A-Bear Workshop. Mind you, I also played football this time too. So I'm a giant who happens to play football as well, who works at Build-A-Bear Workshop. And so people are like, "Oh my God." You know, you see, they might think I'm just like this tough guy or whatnot, but they are like, oh, he's just a big old teddy bear. And then it was like, oh, he's not my teddy bear, he's my Ceddy bear. So shout out to John, you know, big ups to John that worked there. And it was old man who, like, he had a way of playing, like, just interacting with people that was like, you know, people try to this day that work at Build-A-Bear, they try to act like John, but you can't just act like John. You got to be John to be John. But I was probably one of the few people who was the closest he was, because not saying that people didn't have a good time, but whatever. They called me Ceddy Bear. I started, as I worked there, I became more of my shell. Bam. We go full force. I always wanted to start my own magazine. The magazine was something that it took me all the way into high school. It took me from high school into college, where that dream of wanting to start a magazine or write for one, I ended up studying journalism. A teacher pulled me aside. And I was in this class called Voice and Diction. She pulled me out of her film appreciation class, and she was like, "Oh my God, you have a voice I can just work with." And I'm like, "What in the heck?" When I become a petri dish about using my voice, so we take that. I end up actually started doing work for the radio station at UNT, and at that time, I was just a writer. I was writing some of the stories and stuff for them to announce on during the shows or whatnot. And one day, one of the anchors didn't show up. So they're like, who in the writing room feels comfortable about being on the air? So I'm like, oh, this is my big chance. Let me go test this out. I was doing it, and mind you, this was on an FM. It's an FM station, classical music. You got people from all over that listens to this. And I'm doing the news, I'm VJing and stuff, and I did a perfect job. They were like, wow, you've been doing this forever. I was like, this is my very first time doing this. So We got that part. Jump into the Ceddy J Dusk name, and then what Life After Dusk Live was the very first podcast. Dusk came from just a random idea of saying, how like my show's gonna come on at night mainly, so I'm gonna call it Life After Dusk instead of dark, because everybody always says dark after dark. That felt like it was played to me. But I decided that, and then I needed I was trying to figure out a username for Twitter, so I was like Ceddy J Dusk, and it was people who've known me for years that called me Sid and all whatnot. They would call me up by my username. They'd be like, "Hey, yo, Ceddy J Dusk, Ceddy J Dusk." They would just yell that out of nowhere. I'm like, you know my dang name. Why you hollering out Ceddy J Dusk? But yeah, so it became much more than just being a thing about coming on at night. It became a concept. Basically, dusk is that time from sunset to sunup, which is known as the darkness. And so the show being called Life After Dusk is basically bringing a light to people and shedding that light on them from after their dusk period. Basically, no one was really messing with them, and now we're bringing their story to the forefront to bring the light to them. So that's what dusk really means. It's not. It's a double entendre. Yes, it started as the show came on at night, but then it turned into mainly because it's about bringing the light to people.
Okay. So you were kind of thrown into the radio game at a real young age. And then from there, being journalistic and journalism and things like that, it brought you to pretty much to close to where you are now. Now,
Exactly.
There's been some incarnations of the show.
Yes, like so I've had hosts and stuff on, co-hosts and whatnot with me on the original iteration of Life After Dusk Live. It also started growing more because one of the things I said I wanted to start, and a physics teacher asked me to write down 3 goals back in sophomore year. He said, "What are 3 goals you got that you want to do by the age of 30? Start my own magazine." Was it? I did that by 27. And so then, that started bringing different guests. I had people, I'll name a few people, but I'm not going to name drop forever. But people like Kel Mitchell, people like Keith Robinson, they came on my show. This little old show, this is back when podcast, I might sound like somebody, your aunt right now, but this back in the day, baby, when podcast was not really was like frowned upon on. You told somebody you had a podcast, like what FM dial to find that? Like you got to go on the internet to listen to it. They're like, what?
Yeah, podcast in its infancy stages, it was very disrespected. It was very like looked down, not necessarily down upon, but it just wasn't taken seriously. Oh, you doing that? You know what I mean? It's like trying to sell somebody. Hey, can I come and do a vacuum cleaner presentation for you to sell this vacuum cleaner to you? You got the same look, So
yeah, it was the same. And you know what? You really would start getting it more because the more and more of these celebrities would start coming on our shows. And I want to shout out. There's one person they actually on one of the stations in Philly. Mother Knows. Mother Knows was one of the podcasts on there that just really like helped. It helped like set that mood of that. Yes, celebrities, you can come on podcasts. Like, absolutely. And these celebrities, they started realizing something. Wait a minute, I can be showing a narrative. So let me start my own show, and that helped make the podcast world start becoming bigger and more respected. And they started realizing that, oh, wait a minute, I don't have to have all this stuff just based on just this one encapsulated mind. I can get this out easier to people in blogs and all that. It's recorded, so people can go back and listen to it when they want to. What I ain't got, it's not like, I saw it on Johnny Carson show, and I just have to remember the episode unless they syndicate it and play it back sometime.
Exactly.
No, podcast changed.
Exactly.
And so I had a lot of great, like I said, I had a lot of great co-hosts. And my last one I had for the longest was a girl by the name of Seduction. And so we were doing the audio for a while, because for a while for a podcast, as long as you did audio, you were good. But the later years of my show, I started realizing something. If you ain't got a video aspect in some cases, or there's a lot of visual aspects going on, some people eat you alive. So I was like, man, I gotta do something. I gotta add a different component to it. And I stopped doing the show for a little bit because my co-host wasn't quite ready to go to the visual side, for whatever reason. I still never really got the deep reason why, which, maybe on the news show we'll get her on there and she'll be able to break it down a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a big jump. It's a jump though. To go from behind the microphone to in front of the camera. For some people, it would seem pretty natural and easy, but then you get some people who are constantly wondering, how they look, constantly wondering is their best side or their worst side, and they can't work that out, and they internalize it, and it makes it harder until they do it. Once they do it, then there's like, oh, whatever. You know what I mean?
And especially with that, bro, to expound that point, my co-host was fine as hell. Like, it's a general consistency. When you see her, whoo.
Yeah, but see,
that's what made it tough on me too.
But that's what we're looking at. You see, the thing is, it's like the mind is not as pretty on the inside as it is on the outside to some people. They can reflect beauty, but they can't internalize it. Sometimes they still, obviously they're self-conscious. Obviously, they, I would say, I won't say just certain personality types, just no matter how good they look or whatever the case is, they just are nervous about being judged on their look.
No, you right on point with it. Because you think about it, it's kind of like plastic surgery. A lot of people think that it's always a guy that's making these women get plastic surgery. It's not that. It's, end of the day, I'm going to say the secret to the sauce. You can tell a woman she's beautiful a million times. She has to think that. So she's going to go do plastic surgery because she wants to do it.
Right. Exactly.
And people are always going to chase perfection, or you're never going to quite be satisfied. Especially when it comes to, if it's a physical thing, you're never going to be satisfied.
Exactly.
Until you get to a mindset where when you've been at rock bottom, appearance-wise, and you go to the other side, you appreciate it more. Like, for me, like, y'all know right now, a lot of people, y'all started seeing me, like, in my current state, y'all see me I'm losing weight and I'm getting back to where I was, like, 5-7 years ago. And I'm slowly but surely working towards even being better than that. So, yeah, I can understand it to a degree.
Yeah. So what, just to be clear for the people out there, this is the Ant Taylor Show. You're sitting here with Ceddy J. That's right. Ceddy J, I should say. He is the host of both a radio and the podcast. Is your radio show a rework of your podcast or no?
I mean, those words are perfectly said. How to break it down. The radio show, that's why I kind of gave her a new life. I was like, let me read. We took this time off, and now we have all these different entities involved. We have the video aspect with the interviews, and then we have the radio show where I get to get back to where, like, what I started to do, what part of my stuff I started doing with the podcast, playing artists, breaking artists' music. But as y'all know, they started getting real tough on podcasts about playing music during them. So that's when that kind of hurt me too, because like to play safe, I would be careful about playing music. And now with back to the radio show, I can do that. So I kind of wanted to rebrand it. I wanted to, like kind of like Prince. He went from Prince to the artist formerly known. I was like, well, this show is mainly going to be me on it. I might have guest co-hosts, or I might have special guests that come through the show. But I'm in that phase now where Ceddy is trying to, in the midst of also looking out for other people, you got to start putting your stuff out there more, because you have an interesting story, and when people who find out about you, they are blown away. So that's why we're now in the phase with the radio show. We are calling it Ceddy J Dusk, which was Ceddy J Dusk Live originally, based on almost the same principle of Life After Dusk Live. But shout out to my boy Jay Stone. So Jay Stone, he made a theme song for my show. And I already, keep in mind, bro, I'm probably already 7 episodes into doing my show. 7 weeks, 7 episodes, or not. And he calls it, and on the theme song, he goes, Ceddy J Dusk live. Not live. He says live.
Oh my goodness.
But the song was jamming so hard, I don't want to change it. I don't want to redo it. Because I don't want it to lose its original essence. So I want it to stay. I understand the music industry, they can change things, but I was like, no, I don't want to lose its essence, because you might take the feeling out of how you said certain stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to call it Ceddy J Dusk Live the rest of the way, because I started changing it. Every segment is not live, full disclosure. I'm going to be real with y'all. Every segment, it might be taped live, but sometimes I kind of hate, because sometimes people get misled and like, it's live. So that's when I kind of moved the needle along and said, all right, I like live, because I like a big thing he talks about on the song. He talks about everybody had the story to tell and whatnot. And that's what I'm about. I'm about people's stories. So I live through the people who come on the show through their stories. So like, Ceddy J Dusk Live is perfect. Let's keep it live. So yeah, that's why now, for people who don't know the proper pronunciation now, that's why it's called Ceddy J Dusk Live now.
And there we go. We got the background of Ceddy J Dusk Live, because someone, while recording the song, says Ceddy J Dusk Live. And if they would have changed live to live, it probably wouldn't have jived up. You know what I mean?
But it makes it stand out too, bro. Like, way better now.
So let me ask you a question. Besides personal gratification, and what do you hope to bring to the music and entertainment industry? Or should I say, what do you hope to extract, like help people achieve, build upon?
Well, I want to be a point where the fact that we have the power, the being me and this brother are both on the great place known as InspiredRadio.com and whatnot.
Absolutely.
And we get, we don't have this little marionette string that says, hey, you got to play this whenever, you got to talk about this. We all have our own vibes. And I think that's what radio was missing. Like, they want everybody to have that same, you got to act like this, just like everybody. You got a different vibe. You got to play this song because this show play this song and this show play this song. And then it's like, if I want to hear a little bit of art, sometimes I like my I like myself like a Chinese buffet. I go to Chinese buffet. I don't just get the Chinese food. I might get a little fried chicken while I'm in there. I might get some shrimp cocktail. I want to be able to have different flavors without having to leave the space I'm in.
I mean, because you already got a Latin dude in the back help cooking the food, so you're already getting that difference.
Yeah.
That little twang in there. But I feel you, man. I definitely understand what you're saying on that.
So exactly. It's what makes it work. So I want to, and so it's good that we get to bring light to artists. That was part of the heart of Life After Dusk Live, and bring it to this. I get to give these artists a platform where they get their music played, and because we have licensing, we actually have the music licensing. We get to get these artists not just played, but we get to get them paid because of streaming, with the spins and this, that, and the third.
Absolutely.
And I want to bring like we talked about this earlier. Passion means business. I want them to be able to feel comfortable of making, that much close to making a little extra money doing what they love doing. That's simple. And if artists see that there's outlets for that, these outlets that give them that platform are going to continue to grow. Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're sitting here with Ceddy J. This is the Ant Taylor Show. Of course, you already know that. He has been talking about the evolution of him coming from Ceddy Bear, and you better don't you dare call him that, to the man he is now, heading up radio and podcast, where you can find them both. Ceddy, can you tell them where you can be found at?
I'm gonna make it real easy for you. So if you go to inspireradio.com, I'll make it easy because you can find all my pages there.
Make it easy for
you. Go to inspireradio.com. That's with an E, for 3 E. If you search Ceddy J Dusk, it'll have my schedule when the show comes on during the week. It'll also have all my social media links to be able to tap in with me as well. The magazine, photography, all that stuff. So and people sometimes they get hung on the title that I have on my thing that says media mogul. I don't just say that just because it's a cute thing to say. I say it because I slowly but surely every day earn that title because my hand is in just about every piece of media there is, whether it's I'm doing video, I'm doing radio, podcasts. Sometimes when I was in the clubs, I was DJing in the clubs sometimes. All that. I slide artists' music to other people. This and third. A lot of times I use that title because I use it more so as a bridge. I bridge people together that need to be put together.
There you have it. So, Ceddy, is there anybody you wanted to give a shout out to or any messages you wanted to convey?
Yeah, I can do both for you. First off, shout out to you, man, because, a lot of times we all get to a certain level and we feel like, I'm trying to go a certain way, so I don't want to have to reach out to this certain person who's not quote unquote celebrity. And the fact that you reach out to me and gave me this opportunity is dope because usually I'm on the other side doing the interviewing, but it's always cool when I get to do the other thing of being the guest on someone's show.
Thank you, man.
First of all, shout out to you.
You're more than deserving, bro.
Other thing, I'll shout out God, definitely. God's got me through so much. He's gotten me through so much for one thing, I'll be all over the place with some of the choices I've done. And some not good, some I won't say they're bad, but they can be questionable to some people because they're not the most glamorous ways of going about it. Like, for instance, quickly say this, I've dealt with being in the strip club industry and whatnot, but one thing that I was held true was I said that I cared about people. So some of the practices that people did and the way they treated some of these women, I still saw them as women. I didn't just see him as this girl who's working, and she better have my money on time. Like, yeah.
No, I got you, man. Real talk.
And I feel like it was in a sense, it was kind of like God puts you in different places to interact with people. And I felt like God did that for me. He put me in that realm because to show people that there's people who actually see people as people and care about them. And so when those times are hard, you help them get through it. Other thing, I'm going to shout out my family. The reason why a lot of people don't succeed, their support system sucks. And I don't care how many people, how many followers, I don't care if I got 300 or 300,000. One thing that always keeps me grounded is my family. No matter what, they hold me down. And that's what always gives me the superpower of going as hard as to do, because I watched my parents. They always looked out for other people. And they instilled that in me and my siblings. And I do that through these practices. I do that through the practice I do every day. I give people opportunities. I don't do this gatekeeping that people do. So my family, thank you. And of course, thank you to anybody that ever took the time to support me, mentor me, whatever. Thank y'all so much.
Man, and there we have it, huh? Oh, no.
And I got one more thing I want to say, because he said, as far as I want to leave you with, the one thing I'll leave y'all with is, I say this phrase at the end of every show that I do, and I really, really mean what I say it. And everything you do, no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, remember there's a J or a U, there is a way. And simply, it sounds like just a cute little phrase, but when I say that, I mean that no matter what you want to do, you're going to be the difference maker of getting it done. You put the work into it, you put the passion into it, it's going to get done. It might not be always instant, but the consistency and perseverance are going to help you get it done eventually.
Real talk. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Ed Taylor Show. We're going to be right back after this. We got Ceddy J in the house. Believe me, he will be back one of these days. I know you guys can't get enough of him. Make sure you go over to Inspire Radio, check him out, find out everything you want to hear about Mr. Ceddy J. That's Ceddy J. I'm Ed Taylor. Stick around. We'll be right back after this.
This is the Ed Taylor Show.